Hello students, today we are going to start with the exchange and transport of gases. Already the exchange part we have discussed in the earlier video. Now we will see that how the oxygen and carbon dioxide is transported by how many different means it will reach the region of the tissue. So first of all we need to know that this blood which carry the gases that will bind with hemoglobin, that will diffuse in the plasma, that will bind also with water molecule in different ways, that will be transported. So it is not only the gases, but along with that the blood will carry the nutrients, different hormones, then the gases, minerals, electrolytes. This type of components will also be transported. Along with that, the gases, that is oxygen and carbon dioxide, that will be also transported by different means. We will see actually how the oxygen and carbon dioxide will reach the region of the tissue. From the region of the alveoli to the region of the tissue, oxygen will be transported due to the partial pressure change difference, as already I have mentioned earlier, and carbon dioxide will be transported from the region of the tissue to the alveoli. So by how many different ways it will be transported, that thing we are going to see in this video. So first of all, we know that here, suppose this is the alveoli. So from the region of the alveoli, what happened to the region of the tissues, the gases, oxygen and carbon dioxide, that will be transported via the bloodstream. So blood is the only main which is help actually in the transport of the gases. So in this direction, suppose from the region of the tissue to the region of the alveoli, carbon dioxide will be transported, right? And from the region of the alveoli to the region of the tissue, this gas, that is oxygen, that will be transported. So now we will see actually this gas, oxygen and carbon dioxide, how it will be transported. So first of all, we need to know some percentage, that if it comes to the oxygen, oxygen will diffuse in the plasma and it will bind with the hemoglobin, right? By these two means, the oxygen gas will diffuse in the plasma and with the hemoglobin, and it will reach the region of the tissue. So first of all, around how many percentage of oxygen molecule that will bind with hemoglobin, or it will diffuse in the plasma, that thing we will see. First of all, if it comes to the hemoglobin, you know that hemoglobin, that is a structure that is present in the RBC. On the surface of the RBC, hemoglobin molecule is there. Hemoglobin will have two parts. One is heme part, another is the globin part. With one heme, there are 4 globins attached, and with the that ferrous ring, actually, oxygen molecule will bind. One hemoglobin molecule can bind with maximum 4 oxygen molecule. That thing you have to remember. One hemoglobin will bind with maximum 4 oxygen molecule. Now, whenever this oxygen molecule bind with hemoglobin molecule, then how many percentage, that is around 97 percentage, right? So remember, around 97 percentage of oxygen bind with the hemoglobin molecule, it will form an unstable compound that is called as oxyhemoglobin in this region. That means oxygen bind with hemoglobin, it will form oxyhemoglobin in the region of the tissue. Whenever this oxyhemoglobin, HbO2, reach the region of the tissue, then it will dissociate once again to hemoglobin and oxygen, and that oxygen will be given to the tissue. So why this is happening, that diffusion of this gas will occur from this alveoli region to the region of the tissue? This is because of the partial pressure differences. So first of all, in the region of the alveoli, the partial pressure of oxygen is very high. There is around 104 millimeter of mercury, and in the blood vessel, the partial pressure for oxygen is very low. This is around 40 millimeter of mercury. We know that the gases, this is the law of nature, that the gases that will move from the region of higher concentration to the region of the lower concentration, and also it will depend on the gradient. So whenever that gas will move, that will because of the partial pressure differences, remember that. So whenever this oxyhemoglobin is transporting via this blood vessel, whenever it will reach the region of the tissue, once again this oxyhemoglobin molecule that will dissociate into hemoglobin and oxygen, and that oxygen will be given to the tissue. Okay, so this is for the 97% of oxygen that will bind with the hemoglobin molecule. Next one, see what will happen to the rest of the 3% of oxygen. Okay, so you can see in the plasma around 3% of oxygen that will actually dissolve. Okay, that will in the dissolved state that will reach the region of the tissue. So you can see this oxygen that will dissolve in plasma. Okay, so this way that oxygen gas that will be transported in the region of the from the region of the alveoli to the region of the tissue via the diffused state in the plasma. This will reach the region of the tissue. So this way oxygen molecule will be transported from the region of alveoli to the region of the tissue. This percentage is very much important, that is around 3% that will dissolve in the plasma and 97% that will bind with hemoglobin molecule. Remember one very much important point, that one hemoglobin can bind with maximum 4 oxygen molecule. So this question comes in number of exams, basically the objective examination. So this thing you have to remember. Now after that come to the tissue. Whenever the tissue gets the oxygen, it will use this oxygen for the breakdown of the glucose molecule, as already we have seen in the chapter digestion and absorption. What we have seen that the lacteals will take the unit of every kind of food molecule, and this lacteal will carry this different food like the glucose, fructose, galactose, amino acid, then fatty acid, glycerol, this thing that will be transported via the lacteals. It will reach the blood vessel, and from the blood vessel it will be taken to the region of the liver also and different tissues also. So whenever the tissue get this oxygen, it will break the glucose molecule and it will produce water, carbon dioxide and energy. So whenever carbon dioxide is produced, what will happen to that carbon dioxide? That will actually be transported once again to the blood vessel. So carbon dioxide, this will come from the region of the tissue to the region of alveoli by 3 different means. Okay, so first of all we'll see here in the plasma itself. So in the plasma around 7% of carbon dioxide will dissolve in the plasma and it will reach the region of the alveoli. So it will be in the dissolved state. Okay, it will be in the dissolved state. From the region of the tissue to the region of the alveoli, carbon dioxide will be transported. So one thing you have already seen, that if the comparison of the gases oxygen and carbon dioxide in the diffusibility in the plasma, then you can see around 3% of the oxygen can diffuse in the plasma, whereas around 7% of carbon dioxide will diffuse in the plasma and it can be transported. Why? Because carbon dioxide have more diffusibility as compared to oxygen diffusibility. So this thing is very much important. Now after that, see, whenever it comes to hemoglobin, around 23% of the carbon dioxide will bind with hemoglobin. Okay, so you can see whenever carbon dioxide bind with the hemoglobin, it form a compound. What is that compound? That is HbCO2, that is known as carbaminohemoglobin. Okay, and what that HbO2 is called? That is oxyhemoglobin. Okay, remember that. So this carbaminohemoglobin that around 23 percentage of carbon dioxide will bind with the hemoglobin, and once again it will form a unstable compound, that is carbaminohemoglobin in this region. See, this hemoglobin bind with carbon dioxide, it forms unstable compound. What is that? HbCO2, and this will be transported to the region of the alveoli via the blood vessel. Whenever it is reaching the region of the alveoli, once again this oxyhemoglobin will be broken down into hemoglobin and carbon dioxide, and this way carbon dioxide will be transported to the alveoli. Now, if it comes to the remaining 70%, what we have seen that 23% is binding with the hemoglobin, around 7% that is diffused in the plasma. What will happen to the remaining 70% of carbon dioxide? See, this is very much important. So I will write with a different color. See, this is very much important, that around 70% of carbon dioxide will bind with water. Okay, so this thing is very much important. Where that water is present, that is in the RBC itself, the cell which have the cytoplasm. So that cytoplasm will have water of itself, isn't that? So whenever carbon dioxide will bind with the water molecule, then it forms a very much unstable compound. What is that? This is carbonic acid, H2CO3, and this H2CO3 carbonic acid is so unstable that whenever it is produced, it will dissociate into two. One is hydrogen ion and another is the bicarbonate ion. This is the bicarbonate ion, and as bicarbonate ion, it is reaching from the region of the tissue to the region of the alveoli. So this is very much important. Whenever it comes to carbon dioxide, it binds with the water present in the RBC molecule. Then whenever this bicarbonate ion is produced, that bicarbonate ion will diffuse in the plasma from the RBC, and whenever it is reaching the region of the alveoli, once again from the plasma, this bicarbonate ion will enter inside the RBC. Once again the reaction will be reversed. That means bicarbonate ion will bind with the hydrogen ion, it forms the carbonic acid, and carbonic acid will dissociate. This will form carbon dioxide and water molecules. So this way this will be transported to the region of alveoli. So carbon dioxide bind with water, forms carbonic acid will dissociate into hydrogen ion and bicarbonate ion. That bicarbonate ion will go to the plasma, and this way it is reaching to the region of alveoli. Once it is reaching to the region of the alveoli, from the plasma, this bicarbonate ion once again will enter inside the RBC. Then after that, once again this reaction will be reversed, and this carbon dioxide will be transported to the region of the alveoli, and in expiration will remove that carbon dioxide. So this way the transport of the gases, oxygen and carbon dioxide, that will occur. But whenever this transportation occurs, we will see different reactions like Bohr's effect, then chloride shift or Hamburger shift. This will occur. So we'll see these reactions in the next video, and also this oxygen hemoglobin dissociation curve, which is also very much important. So till now this is all about the transport of gases. I hope you understand. So that's all about it. I hope you understand. Thank you.